All right.
I'm Pat. It's
Hi, Pat. I'm Jeffrey. How are you?
fucking cold, man.
Uh, yes, here, and I guess as in many parts of the country.
It's supposed to be nice here tomorrow. It's supposed to get up to the 40s.
Yep.
So, but I was looking at like where my family is back in Michigan.
Yes.
It's gonna be like 3 degrees for a week.
Yeah.
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 So yeah.
And other places that are typically not used to this kind of temperature.
I did see it got everything except for Florida. So Florida, it's still like 80s.
There's still sort of a weird aura around Florida, just sort of
Right.
uh, some kind of magic barrier or whatever, but it kept them safe. But I guess places like Nashville, Texas, uh,
I didn't see. I didn't look at Texas, but that wouldn't surprise me.
well, parts of Texas. I mean,
Right.
it is the size of a small fucking continent. So, I mean, it's,
It's as big as France.
yeah.
Yeah.
So I'm sure West Texas is still dog shit, as
I
it
have no
normally
idea,
is.
man.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I don't know.
Hey, look,
So,
that's the one place I just didn't want to end up going. Um,
West Texas?
yeah.
I've been there. It's not terrible. I drove through it though. I didn't have to live there.
Well, yeah. See,
Yeah.
I didn't want to find oil there. So,
Well, there
as
is that.
there
There's a lot
are
of oil there.
lots of places where it is many miles before the next little place to get gas and stuff. So,
Right, yeah. There's not gonna be a 24-hour gym
no.
there.
No.
I don't know, man. I thought it was kind of pretty, but again, I don't think I'd want to live there.
Well, we weren't there for the prettiness. We were actually there to wreck the prettiness and
Well, you poke holes in it and
right,
slurp out the dino blood. Yeah.
yeah, and fill it with ugly sand and call it a day.
Yeah,
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 yeah.
yeah.
I'd say this is the same, right?
Yeah. It's almost exactly how we left it.
Well, the weird thing is, okay, so I can get the point. I mean, you can make the argument, of course, that it's not exactly the same, but I mean, you are substituting a material that's at least as dense as what you took out of it. So, I mean,
I'm sure it's fine. I didn't realize the hole was that small either.
that's tiny.
It's
It's tiny.
tiny. So I
Yeah.
thought you'd driven like fucking manhole cover thing.
Nope.
No,
Mm-mm.
where you'd like, Then I saw a video the other day where they're actually dropping a fucking snake camera down
Yep.
one of those things, and I was
Yep.
like, whoa, it's like this. It's like a Coke can. Yeah, I was like, okay, so all that stuff about earthquakes is bullshit. So,
I mean, I suppose there's a possibility to it, but I mean, it's not like there's at any point where there's no point in the drilling process whereupon you go into the hole and you just empty it out
yeah, no,
and there's just nothing
you're not
there.
making caves. Yeah,
That's
yeah,
correct. Yeah.
exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah. And the other thing is like if you get just on Google Maps, which is still one of my favorite things to do, is just cruise the earth sometimes.
Yeah.
And you can go and you can look at where the drill rigs are in certain places. They're not hard to spot. But there are acres and acres and acres apart from each other. And so you're talking one Coke can size hole like every couple square miles. It's like, okay, all right, so
Well,
let's chill out about this thing.
okay, so to be fair, what they'll usually do is they'll drill anywhere from, 6 to 20 wells in that spot,
Hmm.
right? But that's that one spot.
Right, exactly. Yeah. No, you can see them clustered because you can
Yeah.
see where they
Yeah.
built the access roads into
Yeah.
them and stuff. Yeah.
But it's not just one hole. It's usually
Right. Oh, in one spot.
yeah. Because they're
Okay.
going to move it by 30, 40 feet and
Oh,
then
okay. So there's
get the
multiple
next one.
holes.
Yeah.
Got it.
Yeah.
Okay. Did not know that.
But that being said, it's all the same.
It's not as big as I thought it was.
Nope.
Yeah.
Nope. So the argument there, of course, is that there's you're disrupting the ground, et cetera, et cetera. Um, I mean, I won't deny that there's a possibility that there's some impact, but I do not think it's something that causes earthquakes and sinkholes like that. It just doesn't.
Well, it might cause sinkholes, but they're not. It's not going to swallow the whole state of Oklahoma, kind of thing.
No, it'd have been gone by now.
Yeah, it'd be gone by now. Yeah. So, I mean, Colorado's full of fucking mines. Those are more dangerous. Decidedly more dangerous. So, like even here in town, we have old coal mines underneath parts of town. So,
Which parts of town?
like down south by the Broadmoor in that area, there's
Do
some.
we really?
Yeah, we do. And
Oh,
then there's some up north, like Rock Rimmon area. There's a couple of them. Yeah, where they have little mine shafts.
I did not know that.
Yeah. One of them's right next to the interstate up there. They have the mining museum right next to the Bass Pro Shop up there. It's right
Well, I
past Glen
suppose,
Eagle.
yeah.
Yeah,
I
that's
mean, I
built on an old
suppose,
fucking
yeah.
mine. Yeah, so they didn't move the stuff to the interstate.
That's reasonable. I guess the science checks out.
Yeah,
No, but you're right because that is a different structure that actually is hollowed out.
yeah,
You have shoring in there to keep it
which is just it's not going to last. I mean, it's all made out of timber if you think about it.
right.
It'll eventually rot and collapse. Yeah, but you fill a hole with sand and concrete, I think you'd be all right for a while.
Generally speaking, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah,
So,
yeah.
oh well. So did you watch football today?
I watched half a game,
Okay,
and it wasn't. I watched half of the Patriots game. Um,
they won.
they did. I, they had won by the time I woke up, so I
Oh,
was. I'm not going to pretend that that was an exciting game because
that game was boring.
at least the part of it that I saw, the first half, wasn't enough to keep my interest.
Well,
It,
I watched the whole damn thing, and I got to tell you, man, um, it was kind of a letdown game based upon the other ones that we've seen this postseason.
sure, yeah.
Like the Seattle game tonight was excellent. So, I mean, it was a gunfight. So, but that Bronco game, especially when it started getting sloppy,
That, yeah,
and
yeah, yeah.
it was like all these, every hit looks like it hurt really bad. Yeah. Guys are getting up like, ah.
Yeah.
You know, and they're carrying the ball, they're like tiptoeing.
Really sucks, man. It
Yeah.
really does. I mean, to that end, I will say that the weather conditions could not have benefited Williams' ailing team more in terms
It's
of
possible. Yeah.
uh, what works for having a novice quarterback in the position.
He didn't do that bad. He threw I mean, he basically lost the game. So he threw an interception with about 3 minutes left,
Yeah,
and they were actually doing
yeah,
fairly well. The defense was holding the Patriots, and they were getting turnovers out of them. I mean, well, like punts, you
yeah.
know. I mean, they were getting fourth downs. And then he just sailed it right in that dude's arms. And it was like as soon as it happened, it was like, oh fuck.
Well, he also, I mean, I thought he was going to come out hot because he did make a pretty goddamn good pass
Yeah, he
uh,
did.
for that touchdown.
Yeah, he did.
The
Yeah,
touchdown,
the
really.
touchdown.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Um,
the game's only time.
well, no, no, no. There
The
was
Patriots had two. Yeah.
well,
No,
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 they
they
had
had
one,
one
they had one,
and two.
and
And
Drake May ran it in.
yeah,
But yeah, that's the kind of thing. Those kind of conditions actually benefit when you can't uh, really use the quarterbacks to the full extent
yeah,
that you can. So,
yeah.
but yeah, by the I fell asleep by halftime, and then
Oh.
when I woke up, the game was over, and there was one more field goal on the board.
It was once the snow cart started coming down sideways. It was 1, 2, 3 and out, 1, 2, 3 and out, back and forth, back and forth. Yeah, it was pretty rough. So and there was like 3 or 4 missed kicks in there too. I mean, yeah, just where it's like the snow's like no.
They showed that. I mean, they showed the last one. They did show that I caught up on. I was like, oh shit, they won. But yeah, so they showed the one the game ended on, and I guess they did block it. They got a hand
They
on it.
got a thingy on it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I saw that.
But it is kind of weird in the same season where people are nailing fucking like 65 and 70-yard field
Not
goals that
today.
it comes down
Not
to.
in that game. They were having trouble seeing that far. So-
We're not used to this, man. We have not seen this kind of.
No, and well, and that's the thing that they were saying. So with them building a new Mile High over the next couple of years, it might theoretically be like the last snowball you ever see in Denver.
When is that thing supposed to be done?
I don't. I think it's supposed to be a couple of years.
Is it?
So yeah.
Okay.
So, but I mean, they've got like this history of AFC Championship games in the snow.
Yeah.
So this is probably the last one, unless they go back next year and it happens to fucking snow again on that day. So
Well, Denver will be back. I mean,
yeah, I think they'll be back. I think New Kid did good enough to keep his job and maybe get a bite somewhere else.
right,
So, but not
right,
enough to take over next. So he'll be
right.
back next year. And so, like, all right, if you're not going to the Super Bowl, you got the best of like kind of both worlds on this. So you've got a decent backup quarterback who was able to play decent ball in a very big stakes game in absolutely craptacular conditions.
Yeah.
Okay, so fine, kid can play ball. All right, but then I mean, it's not like Sean Payton has a decision to make on this summer.
Yeah, because they're not going on to the next game.
No,
Yeah,
going on to the next game. So,
because if he was that good, they'd be moving on to the next game. Yeah.
right. Yeah, so we'll see. But man, the Seattle Rams game was just good. I mean, it was back and forth the entire time. So
Yeah,
um,
Seattle won, right?
Seattle won. Yeah, so they kind of held the Rams underwater at the last. I guess like maybe the last 4 or 5 minutes.
Did they? Okay. Yeah.
Yeah, he's just drowning him in the tub. I mean, he's still fighting and trying to hit the fucking thing to flush the toilet, but
It was like that, huh?
it's like that. But no, they got him.
Well, I didn't see it. So what were the Seahawks doing right?
Their pass game was really good.
Yeah.
So on this one, yeah, their pass game looked really sharp. Defenses played pretty good on both sides. They were just getting outgunned by the offense on both sides too. So, yeah, and actually, like the Rams would kind of go and they do really well for like like a possession or two, and they get it back, and then it's just 1, 2, 3 and out, and then all of a sudden they just lose their own gas, for a little bit. Whereas Seattle was kind of steady. So,
And Seattle is still being helmed by the guy that William is just waiting to flame out, correct?
who is this?
Darnold?
Yeah, he is. Yeah, yeah, he's a goofy kid too, man. He's a goofball, man.
He's been in the league for a while.
Yes, yeah, yeah. But no, yeah, he's still being. It's still Darnold. So there you go.
All right. I mean, I guess we'll see what happens. I did not know. They mentioned it later on. They mentioned the stat where they said that in the playoffs, New England beat three top five defenses,
Yeah, they did.
which
Yeah,
now that I think about it is like that's actually kind of a feat. Now, Will does have a point here. He's like, you beat one good quarterback with uh, junior college offensive lineman.
you did. Yeah, that did
That
happen.
is correct.
Yeah,
That being said, though, they did actually manage to outlast the toughest defenses. So this could be.
I think it's going to be a great
I
game.
hope it's going to be a good game.
It's going to be a good game.
Is it
So
is it actually in 1 week, or are they doing the
it's
2 week thing?
weeks. Yeah, it's in 2 weeks. Um, yeah, because they got to do something else next week. I can't remember what it is. Um,
They don't do the Pro Bowl next week, do
I
they?
don't think so. I think that's after.
I don't think anybody cares anymore.
All the college is done now. The national championship is done.
Who won?
Indiana.
Oh,
So, if I'm not mistaken, I don't really pay attention to that one, man. So,
not my deal.
no, I could see myself getting into it if I actually because the playoff system is still kind of new to me.
Yeah,
It's been around for a few
yeah.
years, but it's still kind of like, oh, wait a minute, this is actually important.
Right. It's
Yeah.
still
It's like, wait, did you get
semi-crooked, but
invited to this?
yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah. It's the NCAA. It can't not be crooked. It's its nature to be somewhat crooked. So
Is that part of the charm?
it is kind of part of the charm. It's kind of a club thing. Yeah, it's like a motorcycle club. We beat you in, but
Well, and
so
that's sort of it.
once you're in,
Yeah,
you can help
yeah.
us. The rest of us make the rules.
I get it. I mean, if you're talking about things that actually do, because if you the things that actually differentiate college ball from the NFL. I mean, there used to be a couple of things, the 2 point conversion being one of them.
Oh
The
yeah, and the overtime rules and all kinds of stuff. There used to be
overtime
all kinds of
rules,
shit that was different. So
the pass interference being 15 yards and not spot of the
no,
foul.
yeah,
Um, I believe I believe in college football. Correct me if I'm wrong. I think if you're down, right? If you go down, you're down. So if
yeah. If you're down, you're down.
right.
Yeah,
It's not if you
it's not a knee
touched.
and a touch. Yeah,
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 yeah.
yeah,
No, you're down. You're down.
yeah.
Yeah,
If you fall over, it's just
you're done.
yeah.
Yeah, you're down.
So there's a couple of things that do make it different, but
Well, I mean, you're playing with younger guys who are a little bit more eager, and then 9 out of 10 of them are not going to go play professional ball. Okay, actually, probably like 99 out of 100 of them are going to
so much,
go
yeah,
on to play
so
professional
many.
ball. And so the rules are kind of designed. It's like, well, you're studying to become an accountant. You need to make sure you have eyes.
Yeah, yeah.
So yeah,
I mean, it still strikes me as I find it problematic that they can actually pay these people.
yeah, but that's just like OnlyFans. It's the haves and the have-nots, man. So I mean, you're talking about like a slice of the slice, of the top that actually get paid. I mean, the rest of them they get paid through their fucking room boards, tuition, scholarships, blah blah blah,
Yeah,
stuff like that. But that's always been that way.
absolutely. Yeah.
Yeah. So, but now to actually pay, that's not very many guys.
Well,
I guarantee you, I have no guys at my school that get paid.
I understand. I
You can go
make
to the D1 teams in this state, and I think you'd have a hard time finding someone who got paid. You'd probably find a couple. So
maybe.
maybe.
I mean that's a tough one. I guess I would make the argument that um, I would make the argument that you could pay all the players, and I would argue that you could do that on the realm of uh, you treat it like school employment, right?
Sure.
Where I knew people that worked at the school when I was going there. They'd work in
Mhm.
the library or do other stuff like
Oh
that.
yeah,
It's just
and
so
a lot of them still do that. So I mean, a ton of them do. They'll do work study on top of it.
I think that's totally fair to pay them
Mhm.
that wage, or if there's a version of that where on top of that you can use that to kind of parlay that into like some kind of like health insurance or something like that. That would be
All the kids are on their parents' health insurance anyway because it's good until you're 25. So
yeah, that's true.
yeah, nobody pays for the school health plans. Yeah, you know.
But if you didn't have a parent that
Oh yeah,
had that, then that would be something that's cool that they could extend to you.
I think they do actually. So yeah, I know like students can use the because we have a campus clinic and stuff like that. They can use that for free. There's something else that they can do like imaging and stuff like that.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, we
Yeah.
got all that stuff. So maybe not an MRI, but I think we can refer them over to the hospital. I had to do a project on that a couple of years ago.
Well, when you were working for
Well, when I
whatever.
was doing some stuff in
Yeah.
the nursing program, it was kind of like, well, what the fuck do we actually offer?
Good question.
Kind of thing. Yeah,
Do you have an answer?
that stuff. Yeah.
All right.
You got a cold, you go see the clinic, they give you some pills, you're good.
Right.
So, yeah,
Right.
you know, yeah.
I always thought that was fair. And then you can take that same thing and you can make that offer to student athletes across the board. There's no question over there. So it's fair for lady gymnasts
Mhm.
as it is for and you just do it based off of like if your practice requires more hours from you, then yeah, they're gonna compensate you for that because you're doing it for the school.
Some of them are very different, man. Some sports, they put in a lot more practice time than others.
Definitely.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Some of them have much, much longer seasons, too.
Uh-huh.
So
And that was my take on it.
it's like basketball. They play a lot.
Yeah.
They play a lot of ball.
So did baseball.
Not in D2, man. They're kind of shortened, so they don't play the full MLB season.
No, they
So
don't, but
not
they
even
still play
close.
quite a bit.
Yeah, but it lines up with softball. So and then I would guess let's see, because I know our football team will go from August to basically November.
Okay, yeah, yeah.
Yeah, and then the baseball team, I don't think they actually start until like March, and then they're done by May. So they're only like 3 months. So it's not a long season. Yeah.
No, it's not a super long season, but
Hmm.
they do actually manage to get in some games there. So,
They do. Yeah, they do. So
well, I always thought that was fair, but it's a
yeah, the
different.
basketball plays like they play like 2 fucking semesters.
They do, and you know what? A lot of basketball guys will actually do something in the off season too,
Yeah,
because they want to keep in shape.
yeah,
I knew
yeah,
guys that would do basketball and track
yeah. I've
and
known some
track.
people who did
Yeah.
both. Yeah. So, um, yeah, or like I don't know. Like I think there's some people on our women's basketball team who are also on the volleyball team from time to time, because I think that's during the summer. So
You could be right. And soccer's in there somewhere too, but I don't know. I know
yeah,
nothing
I don't
about
know
that,
anything
really.
about that. So
I don't know. That seemed reasonable to me, but I was wrong
about what?
about how to compensate
Um,
student athletes.
it just comes down to the fact that certain schools have got the cash to be able to pay for it, so they're going to. So, and if you don't like it, they say, "Fine, fuck you. We'll make our own division," which has happened many times over the last 30 years. Where it's like, "Oh, it's the Big 12. No, it's the Big 10. No, it's the Pac-10 now." We got to kick Homer out of the club this year.
Yeah, I really don't know who actually holds the authority in that in that organization.
There is nobody who holds
Yeah.
authority. I mean, it's run by committee, and so everybody's got somebody on the committee. And so, if they all decide to gang up on one school and kick them out, that school gets kicked out. So, um,
But you have to have cause. It's not
I
just
don't even know about that, man. So, I mean, they don't even do that. So, like, well, fuck this league. We're going to go make our own. And they go around and they invite the other school. They say, yeah, that's a good idea if that guy's not in it. And all of a sudden you get a new one. It's just like you take down the sign and you paint a new one.
you just paint it right over. Yeah. I mean, there is that. I mean, but also they had weird things where Notre Dame was just on their own.
Yeah.
Um, yeah, very, very bizarre stuff. I
Yeah, they had to get invited to go play other places.
Yeah.
So I remember that. Yeah.
Now, one of the things I do find interesting here is now I think, I think baseball is in some trouble.
Why?
Um, so it's kind of funny that now it's being thrust in the Dodgers direction. For the longest time, it was those Yankees they just pay for whoever they want. They get whoever they just buy
Yeah, I know.
championships. And now there's
I love it when people use that because that argument's been dead for 10 years. And so it's like, oh, you just don't like the Yankees. So,
well, that thrust is now being put on the Dodgers.
yeah, I mean, it's kind of true.
Well, and this is the thing.
But that's okay, man. I mean, if you got the money, spend it. So
Well, this is the weird thing is
they
I
do
don't.
have like the most loyal fan base and fucking like in terms of season ticket holders. So they
They
make a
do.
mint,
Yeah,
dude.
they
Yeah.
do. But they didn't always actually.
Well, yeah,
They,
I mean, they have effectively since the Rockies have been a
yeah.
thing. So,
No, actually, they I don't want to say they ever struggled to fill the stadium per se. They kind of did for a while there because um, I know this sounds ridiculous, but there was just too much going on in LA. And
totally, and there still is. I mean, you got so many teams there. I mean, you got what? You got two basketball teams, two football teams, two baseball teams. So, but
I mean, effectively, yeah.
well, dude, I know Angels fans who are really
Right.
fucking diehard,
Right.
kind of thing, because
Yeah,
it's kind
I
of
mean,
like being a Mets fan. So,
and I mean to call it technically LA, but I mean same
they're from the
difference.
Valley,
Yeah.
so yeah.
Yeah. No, I gotcha. And for a long time there was this thing where even when they had football teams, it was still a little bit like, who gives a fuck? There's
Mhm.
just too much going on. The same thing where I remember guys would talk about not just comedians, but also like musicians
Hmm.
who would say the places they didn't like to play is LA. They'd love going to like Salt Lake City because the place would be packed and everybody going nuts. But they'd come to LA where
Yeah.
they're from, and this is like a half-filled place
Right. Yeah. Yeah.
because,
Yeah.
but there's 10 other things going on here today.
Right.
Um, so yeah, now at this point, people are again. It's the same argument they were using 10 years ago against the Yankees and the Red
Hmm.
Sox, and now it's somehow an emergency because the Dodgers are doing it, and it's like it's just changing teams, man. This
Dude,
is
someone in baseball is going to do it. So,
unless you guys really clamp down and say we're going to rewrite the rules, but you guys had 100 years to change your mind
they're
on
not going
that
to do that.
because
So,
it requires unanimous decision.
well, I don't even know about that, man.
Yeah,
But I mean, when
yeah.
it comes down to it, I mean, like the owners run the MLB, just like the NFL is run by the team owners.
For the most part, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, for the most part.
It's an association where we agree to these rules and we agree to play each other on this schedule and blah, 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 and stuff like that. But the NFL doesn't actually have much authority over any individual owner. And MLB is the same way.
I would
So
imagine they have even less control.
MLB probably, yeah, because the TV rights aren't worth near as much.
Mm-hmm.
So and that's why like almost all of your major league teams just spun off. They have their own fucking channel somewhere, on like the mid 300s on the
Still
dial.
a channel, man.
It's still a
Still a
channel.
channel.
So, and I mean, you can get that sweet, sweet MLB package ticket money, a little bit, but I mean, you're spreading it over what, 162 games over the course of a year.
Yeah.
So, I mean, baseball, like, the place that teams have always made their money is in the stands.
Right.
So, yeah, it's in
Yeah.
the stands, it's in the merch and the concessions and stuff like that. That's why you have 162 games a year. You know, and you can tell really quickly the rich teams from the poor teams. The Rockies are not a poor team. So, because they consistently post, if not top 15 and top 10, but top 15 in terms of attendance records every single year. Even last year, when they were awful, they did better in attendance than they did like 3 years ago when they were actually making a run. Yeah. So, go fucking figure, dude. you know, it just doesn't really matter. Because if you have a fan base that's loyal to you, then I mean, you're gonna be able to afford whatever it is that comes your way. So,
Yeah, they have. This was something that they used to joke about here because they have in many seasons past when it was Boston and New York that were just basically outbidding each other. It required basically a unanimous decision to basically change the cap
yeah,
rules.
it did.
And so what would happen is every other team but Boston would say yes, or every other team but New
New York.
York would say yes. And they would just sort of flip flop back on that. And so now you have another team in the mix.
Well, we've
And
had several. I mean, the Mets have been up there for years too,
Cubs too.
and the Cubbies.
Cubs do
Yeah.
spend.
Well, the Mets still. I still think they have Soto's record as the record holder right now. His contract is the most
Oh,
expensive
for one
one.
person, I don't know.
I think
Okay,
it
I
is.
could believe
Yeah,
that.
I think it is. It's ridiculous. It's like 700 some million. It's crazy. Yeah. So yeah,
Well, it's between him and Otani, right?
yeah. Otani's up there too, but Otani actually took a cut so he could play in LA because he wanted to play in LA, if I'm not mistaken. And then his contract's got some weird provisions in it too that only LA would be like, okay, that's fine. Yeah. So, but see, here's the thing, man, is the NFL, and I don't know if this is so true in the NFL, but the MLB has actually gone through like a revenue renaissance since the rules changed. Because like,
Which rules change?
well, a couple of years ago, so not only was it the pitch clock,
Oh, okay, that
which
okay.
now is
Yeah,
almost universally like, okay, that was a good idea.
right.
So you can find a few purists out there like about that, but
Yeah.
baseball games taking 2.5 hours rather than four is great. I'll just say this: I've been to a lot more games since they put
Hey man,
because it's not the commitment that it used to be. Now it's kind of like going to a movie.
bro. Okay, so tell me, have you? All right, have you? Did you ever have the misery of being at a game? This doesn't happen that often, but I do remember going to one game where, and this was just something they used to do, where they needed to warm up. They needed to warm up another pitcher,
Oh yeah,
right? And so I just watched the pitcher make like 14 throws to first
yeah.
so that he could have time to
Oh yeah.
warm up. I
Oh
was
yeah.
like,
Oh, you used to
this
see
is
that all the time, yeah.
this is the kind of like I never saw it happen live until one game. It was like this is
Especially if they're trying to ice a batter. So yeah,
there's that, but
yeah,
I mean, there's specifically they're warming up the guy's replacement. I'm like, this is ridiculous,
yeah.
but uh, I mean, that's one of those things. Like, how the hell do you explain that? Like, you take your girlfriend, you're like, she's already sitting there saying like, this is the most boring game since ball, and you're trying to say, no, it's not, no, it's
No,
not.
no,
Here's the
no, no.
nuance.
You gotta, you
It's
gotta,
like,
you gotta pay attention.
okay, let me show you the real stuff here. It's like they need to warm up a reliever, right?
Yeah,
So he's going to pretend to throw to first to check that
right.
run.
It's like, what kind of bullshit is this?
Like she's sitting there saying, I don't think he's going to run.
I
It's
don't
like,
think
no,
he's
he's
gonna
not.
run. No, he's not.
They both agree that they're
They
not.
both agree that he's not.
That's
Yeah,
correct.
so he doesn't even have a foot off the bag. Yeah, no. So, but that's not the reason for the revenue. The thing about that they've discovered the last couple of years, because you know, if you remember baseball, like 5, 6 years ago, there was like 1 or 2 weeks where you get interleague play.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah,
Now you get a lot of interleague play. So virtually every division visits every other division in the
yeah.
league every single year. And so that means when, like rather than, the Dodgers coming to Yankee State, or I mean, coming to, fucking, like Coors Field and, what's the one in Arizona where the Diamondbacks play?
Oh,
And
oh,
then,
it's a bank, isn't it? It's
yeah, Chase, I think it's Chase Field.
I think you're right.
Yeah. And, um, going down to San Diego and just kind of rotating through, those over and over and over again. So the Dodgers are a high dollar team
Right.
that have 100, like hundreds of thousands of fans across the nation. And so the Dodgers can go to one of those, places. And so in our division, we can share that around. But that means that like Boston comes to us,
Yep.
and then I mean, so that just spreads all the wealth around because really it takes those high dollar teams that have a lot of brand awareness and it brings it to your stadium. You do a revenue share with them, but it crushes the shit out of the three other teams that you usually play within your division over and over again. Where you go to the diehard fan games where it's like, okay, it's the 15th time. Yeah, we're playing someone in the NOS,
Yeah,
so
it
we're
is.
all fighting in the basement down here. And you can just look at the crowds, and it's like, yeah, on a Tuesday night, eh?
On a Tuesday afternoon.
Right? Yeah, yeah. So, but then like last year, because yeah, I took Mom to see the Yankees last year. Stadium's fucking packed, and then this
Yeah.
year, I don't think the Yankees are coming, but Boston's coming this year, and so are the Cubbies. And those are huge games, man, for fans. I've been to both of those. In fact, I might go to Boston this year if you want to go. So, um,
Definitely a
I
possibility. I
haven't
mean,
I haven't seen them since I actually went to Fenway, so I think I want to go see them.
well, that's cool. Yeah, yeah, I did see when it is. I mean, see, that's the wacky thing about it is if you think about like interleague play wasn't a thing.
It wasn't.
I mean,
It
that's
was rare. It was like this doesn't matter, because you're just fighting the guys in the division, So the entire time, that's the baseball that actually
yeah,
mattered.
yeah.
And now it's like fuck that. Yeah. So I mean, so that's why you're seeing a lot of changes in baseball, these gradual ones that are actually biting because it's actually breathing a lot of life back into these smaller clubs out there. And so, I wouldn't say that baseball is necessarily in trouble with the salary cap, but and then the other thing is
That's a good point. Yeah.
there's this massive resurgence in AAA ball that's been going on.
Is
So
it?
there is, man. AAA ball is just taking off like crazy. And some of it's not even real baseball. It's like the Savannah Banana stuff. So, which is like blurred ball.
Well, you're talking about
But they
where
come to your stadium now. They come to your major league stadium. And like the Savannah Bananas came to Rockies last year, set 3 nights in a row of attendance records. So, and this is for a team that doesn't play baseball.
But they're just for fun,
Oh,
right?
it's
They're
totally for
essentially, yeah.
funsies.
That's
Yeah,
the
it's totally for funsies, and it's all about like celebrating baseball by making it goofy.
yeah,
Yeah,
yeah. Sort of like seeing the Harlem Globetrotters
it's
in
like
some ways. Yeah,
it's like seeing the Harlem Globetrotters if the Globetrotters were actually in a league.
right.
So, because that's the difference with those guys, and they're not the only ones. There's a couple others that are kind of starting this out. But this is one of the good things that actually came out of COVID because the whole thing started because the guy bought this team, this AAA team in one of the league. I don't even actually. I think it might have been Double A because it wasn't even a feeder team. It wasn't even a farm team, but it was in one of these leagues that was part of a farm system. Um, and it was right at COVID, and he's like, "Fuck, I'm fucked," you know. And so they started doing everything on YouTube and TikTok, where they do all this crazy shit, where they put like the pitcher on stilts and stuff. Yeah. And so for every one of those goofy games they do a real game. And so they actually have real players doing this weird shit, and then they become like alumni across that league, and a lot of them get pulled up to the majors, and then that's when they start inviting these goofy teams to weekends when the home team is out of town, okay, or on the road or something like
Yeah,
that.
yeah, yeah.
You bring in something like that, and so there is kind of this revenue thing that's going on that like I mean, NFL is all about TV money, which you can see, man, because like some of the best posts that I saw on Twitter over the last 2 weeks had nothing to do with fucking America or anything like that. It had to do with everything. It's like, why the fuck can't I watch my football?
It was a valid
It's
question.
like Donald Trump, please, sir, make the NFL free again.
Are they wrong?
Uh-uh. Absolutely not. I 100% agree with that. Socialize the NFL. Let's nationalize
Oh
it.
no.
Oh no.
Because now, oh my God, because now you actually have to get like federal rules in this.
Yeah. So, but the idea of actually having football for free, because baseball's not free and it hasn't been free for a long time. So
No.
you can get it on the radio for free, no
Yeah.
problem.
Yeah.
Okay. In fact, you know, there's still quite a bit of like, at least I have quite a bit of personal love for listening to football or baseball on the radio. Rockies announcers are great, so and they've been the same guys since the beginning. You but we're not the only team that has tradition like that.
Oh no, no, no,
Yeah,
no, no, not at all.
but football on the radio is fine if you're in a car. It's okay.
It's all right. So,
It's not baseball.
well, when you didn't have any alternative, right? You had to do that, right?
You have to. Yeah.
And it's again, it's okay. The problem now is, look, if you really want to watch football when you're driving, you can do that.
You can do that.
Baseball, on the other hand, it's a little bit more of a creative writing project.
Yes, very much so.
It very much
Yeah.
is, and instead of I need one person on this side, okay, because one person over here, when you're over there in the actual announcer booth and you're doing this for radio, right? You're going to have someone again. It's play by play in color, so you're going to have a person who's going to be talking about as the play develops. It's going to be takes what looks like a three-step drop. It's not a three-step drop. It's actually a handoff. It's a handoff. He's going to go like this,
Right.
not running very hard. Goes
Yeah.
for the four hole, right?
Right.
And this
Yeah.
is
Yeah. It pushed you out of bounds. Yeah.
and I get it because that's you want to be able to do that, but because baseball has that space, that time to breathe, you get to build the story
Yeah.
in between actions here,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah. You're talking about how this kid grew up on a farm. And, could throw one hell of a ball in high school. Blah blah blah. Here comes the pitch.
Exactly. And then
Yeah.
it goes to the next time. It's like these guys have met two times this season,
Right.
and the first time, my man got dusted on the chin,
Yeah.
and you know why? Because he trotted on a home run the last time around.
Yeah.
So there's a little bit of bad blood going on these sides, low and away.
Yeah. Here comes. Yeah.
Right.
3-2 count. Here we go. Yeah. So I don't know, man. I mean, we got 2 more weeks till the Super Bowl, and then. Actually, no. I think the Super Bowl might be next week. I might be wrong.
I think it used to be. I don't know. I guess Wait, so I
Then you
guess
get a month and a half till
today's
baseball gets
guess.
going.
I mean,
Or at least
basically, I guess the question: will the Super
preseason.
Bowl be played in February or not?
I think it is.
Okay,
Yeah.
then I think that's two
I
weeks.
think it's 2 weeks. Yeah.
I think that's 2 weeks. Then.
Yeah, because
Okay.
next week would be the 31st, right?
Yeah.
Oh, no, wait. Today's Sunday.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. Yeah.
Wait.
Next
25
Sunday would be the
plus.
30th.
Wait, is it 25?
Oh, no,
No,
it would be
20.
February
It'd be
1st.
February 1st. First. Wait, no. Oh, wait, no, no, because Will said next year it'd be pushing it to February 14th, but that's next year. So I think it's
Oh,
this
so it's
year.
got to be 2 weeks.
Yeah.
It's got to be 2 weeks.
So
Yeah,
this would
it's
be
not.
like
It's
the
not. Yeah,
8th.
you're
The
right.
8th. Yeah.
Yeah, he said
Yeah.
it would push it back another week, so it would fuck with Valentine's Day. Maybe just depends on which day it falls. So, but yeah, this year, yeah, it's 2 weeks from now. So.
Well, I think you're absolutely onto something there where I don't know if you want to socialize football, but there is something that said, well, hey, bro, we are rapidly, running out of things that are, cultural touchdowns, and this football being one of the last. If there's a way to make sure that
Yeah,
everybody gets to see this in one way or another, I think
yeah.
that's
I don't know, man. That might just sort itself out naturally. I mean,
well, the universe is collapsing back into itself.
exactly. Yeah,
Every streaming service, sans Netflix, is losing money like fucking crazy.
yeah. I know. It's almost too diversified.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
but I mean, it runs into that YouTube problem with like, well, I can't watch all the content creators, you know.
Right.
So, and it's kind of yeah, and you're right. Netflix it makes money just because it got so fucking big.
And it got there
So,
first. Yeah,
and it got there first. Yeah, it's got the
yeah.
install base.
It does. It does. I mean, they were the first ones making everything in that industry that basically people did first or have been pursuing. Netflix did first, right?
Yeah,
When it came to, I mean, short of obviously, so when it came to doing like premiere TV, obviously HBO beat them to the punch,
yeah, but to
years
smaller
ago.
audiences.
But
So,
yeah, when it came
yeah,
to we're basically a warehouse of media, but we're going to start making our own media. Look, dude, you and I were there. I remember when the idea of a Netflix series sounded like a joke. It's like like when we pictured it, and frankly, I think the first like five series, the first 5 years of like shows, were all just shit. You're like, this is what you're putting on, and
I don't
they
remember what they were.
exactly because everything's felt like it's like, well, these are.
I was watching stuff on AMC before I started watching stuff on Netflix.
That's what I'm talking about.
Yeah,
They hadn't what
that was
people
still cable.
yeah, people were sitting there on Netflix. That's when they were actually. That's when you'd actually go to watch like Breaking Bad on Netflix because they got the seasons
Right.
of tons of other shows, right?
Well, yeah, and you could binge them. That's the one thing
Oh,
that made that way better than cable.
yep.
So, because cable is like, oh, well, I guess we'll talk about it next week, or which has its own charm, but that's like that's like phonograph days now.
It really is. Yeah, yeah. No, you're not
It's like vinyl's the best way to listen to this. It's like, yeah, you might be right, but I don't know. I can't skip ahead on that. I mean, I could guess.
so you're right because the only thing that they could do was they said, all right, well, our one advantage is that we're a premiere event, all right, but we don't want people to miss that night, and we don't get to count DVR recordings as ratings, right? So what they ended up doing was they started changing their script to, all right, so the show is on Sundays.
Mhm.
We're going to show it at 7. Then we're going to show it again at 8.
Right.
Then we're going to do a show about the show at 9. And then we're going to show the show again at 10.
Yeah.
Right? So it's just, you are not going to miss this show. We're going to do basically one program for the whole block.
If you're
Sunday
here
night.
that day, yeah.
That's pretty much
Right,
it.
yeah.
Because, yeah, I guess the weird thing is when it comes to ratings on TV, you don't get to sell ads based on how many people DVR your shit.
I don't know how it works.
It's all based on the live rating. Now the weird thing is they do record how many people DVR that shit.
I guarantee you they do.
Yep.
Yeah.
They absolutely do. But advertisers don't use that data.
Yeah, I don't even know how much. I don't know that much about advertising anymore. It's changed so radically since when
Oh
I
yeah,
looked at it. I
yeah.
have no fucking clue about how it works
I think
anymore.
it'd be a very tough time to be an advertiser right now.
I don't know, man. I have no idea.
The other day uh, when Matt Damon and Ben Affleck were on Joe Rogan, they were talking about how
They were
did you
not Joe Rogan. I didn't see
did you
that.
see this? Okay,
No,
so
I don't know how much of those guys I can put up with.
it was
They're
funnier
not
than
that mad.
it was funnier than I thought it would be.
Okay,
But one thing they did raise a very excellent point on. Damon brought this up here is he said that look, when you make something for Netflix, they have changed the way that you write for Netflix. So what's that? Is when you make a movie for Netflix, say for example, you're expected to reiterate the plot 3 to 4 times throughout the film because the expectation they say make movies with the assumption that somebody is on their phone while they're watching it.
oh, right.
What a fucking nightmare! Like, just
Dude, YouTube's been like that for 10 years now. That doesn't surprise me at all.
that's YouTube. This is
Dude,
I mean,
YouTube's full of long form content. So,
it's also full of 5 and 10 minute, 15 minute
uh-huh.
content
You
too.
got to kind of pick your plot. You
Yeah,
pick your what you're going to do there,
yeah,
man.
yeah.
Yeah, so I mean, it is choose your own adventure.
It is. It
Yeah.
is. And I got you. But I mean, if you're God, I mean, if you're making a film and you've actually got the cameras out, you've blocked the shit out and all this other stuff, and you're like, there's two things that Brent mentioned here. Uh, and Affleck said something about this here too. He said, I didn't see the data. He's like, but I would very much like to see how many people are watching this on their phone. He said, I've sat there and watched directors agonize over a tiny little thing in the background. And I joked to him, he said, nobody's going to see that when they're watching it on their
On their
phone. You know
phone.
that, right? And he said that drives them up a wall because that's not what they're trying to do. And I
I
get
get
it.
it.
I
Yeah.
get it. I totally get it.
No, I mean, I just saw that even on my own YouTube channel. About 60% of people watch my shit on their phone. And then the
Yeah.
other,
Yeah.
no, it doesn't bother me. It doesn't surprise me at all because then I sit there and I think of like, okay, so how many hours a week do I spend on YouTube and how many hours of those week are on my TV versus my phone? So, and it's like, well, okay, so for me, it's probably about probably a 30-70 split, with 70 of it being on my TV. But I'm not watching it when it's on my TV. Okay,
Yeah.
I'm listening to it when it's on my TV.
Yeah.
All
Yeah.
right,
It becomes radio.
it's radio. Yeah, exactly. But then, so yeah, but like on mine, yeah, it's easily 60% that are watching it on their phone because you can pull those stats really quickly. And then of the remaining 40%, it's about evenly split between people who are watching it on TV or a tablet. So,
Yeah, I wouldn't. I don't know the distinction between a phone or a tablet, or if that matters. But
no, there is a distinction between
yeah,
phone and tablet. Yeah. So on there, yeah. In fact, there's the one that doesn't have it. It's like PC or TV.
okay,
So
yeah,
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 you know, and then it's tablet, and then it's phone, and that's one of the things they say is like make your stuff in what is it, vertical format so you can watch it on a phone. Yeah, because if you do anything in like 16 by 9 or whatever,
yeah,
you have to rotate the phone in order to be able to see it. Otherwise, it actually puts those bars up above and below it.
right,
It makes it even smaller. So you're taking something that's the size of a phone, basically a note card,
yeah.
and then just cutting off the top and just using that. If you've got your shit oriented that way. So
Yeah, but you don't like watching videos in that format, do you? Do you anymore?
no, but I listen to it.
Oh, okay.
So yeah. Um,
I don't give it too much.
no, that's okay. But uh, like sit down and watch a movie kind of thing. I don't know, man.
Yeah, yeah.
I think most people do that on Netflix though. So I just say, I'm going to sit here with my cat and fucking binge this out, kind of thing.
Well, that's the thought,
Yeah,
right?
I think
Yeah.
that, yeah, like that would be the kind of stuff that Ben Affleck's trying to make.
Well, that's the stuff that he's saying that people will be on their phone when they're watching that movie.
Oh, yeah.
That's what
Oh,
he's
okay,
saying.
now I understand what you mean. But
Right.
yeah, they will be on their phone while they're watching your boring ass movie.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, and that's the thing is he was breaking down. It was cool to listen to him talk about it, where they're saying like they had to change the beats of storytelling, where they're like, all right, so typically what they want is, the traditional thing was to have three set pieces, the one with
Mm,
all the explosions and all the big stuff that's going to happen in the third,
right.
and you get the notes from the guys where they're saying like, actually, can you put it in the first?
Yeah, because nobody's paying attention.
That's the thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah. Your traditional Star Wars format, your movie plot, doesn't work anymore. The reverse heartbeat. You know?
The one that lasted for 2,000 plus years. Yes.
It got dead.
Right.
Got killed by Samsung. Yeah.
I don't think it's dead, but it is heavily modified. It is heavily modified. And I'll tell you the thing that I think actually ruins it more than anything is the we have completely lost the plot when it comes to TV used to be TV, and this is not just an old man speaking thing where it's just sort of you have 22 minutes, you're expected
Hmm.
to, even if it's part of a larger story, you are supposed to have an A story that begins and ends within that time frame,
Hmm.
right? Instead of being just part one of eight,
Yeah.
of one long series,
Yeah.
right?
But you're talking about 80s TV, which is like the pinnacle
Well,
of TV.
80s, 90s,
Okay,
2000s.
so but if you go back, there's a shitload of Gunsmoke back there where they didn't have that fucking dialed in quite that well.
I didn't. Okay, so tell me, I wasn't watching Gunsmoke. Was Gunsmoke just straight up serial, like one episode
They
to
were
the other? Or
supposed to be
was it
like
just?
weapon. Yeah, they're one episode. They're standalone
Oh,
episodes.
so they were
Yeah,
standalones, right? That's what I was saying.
yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah, but they're not that finely tuned, and they were an hour long too. So, I mean, but there was a lot more TV than, I think, like, when you get all the way to the point in time where you're talking like Cheers or Wings or whatever.
yes,
Okay, that stands on the shoulder of a lot of mistakes that other people made in the past, where they got that formula dialed in over the course of like just that 40 years there. So, I mean, think about the breadth of different types of TV. There's serialized stuff. Okay, there were series. Okay, there were fucking soap operas, which were
soap opera's a different story. I
it
mean,
is, but it's
but
still
yeah,
it's a
yeah,
form of
yeah,
television. And
yeah,
it's a form of creative endeavor that is based upon fiction.
yeah.
So yeah. I mean, but then you got all kinds of weird shit like fucking Love Boat and stuff in there, over the years, where I don't think they necessarily dialed that in, to perfection until the very end of TV, and then Netflix suddenly shows up and tries to use that.
Well, Love Boat was still. It was still made. It was still episode by
Yeah,
episode.
it was episode by episode. What was the other one? What was the island? The
Fantasy Island.
Fantasy Island. There
Yeah.
you go.
Again, very self-contained.
Oh, I know.
Um,
So,
yeah, all the
but then you
70s
had
shit.
like series like MASH, where you did have self-contained episodes, but there's an overall story arc.
Exactly.
That's like one of the few that actually did that before that time, though.
They
So,
did,
yeah,
but it was always the story of the episode still began and ended,
yeah, it did.
but it would still have
It
an
did.
arcing theme that would go on through.
Yeah.
And that's just like if you watch like a Netflix series, it is not that. It is.
I don't know, man. Yeah, I think like if you're gonna point to anything that kind of ruined it, I don't think it's phones or Netflix and stuff like that. It's just reality TV. So, I mean, reality TV, when it got to the point in time where it became cheap enough and available, and you could actually go out there and film something that felt like it was live,
Right.
rather than everybody know. Oh, so we have people laugh, so it feels like they're in the audience of the in the laugh track, kind of thing. And then eventually you get to the point in time, it's like, all right, we can box up all this equipment
Right. Right.
and take it out to fucking South Pacific or something like
Yeah.
that. You know. Um, well, and I mean, it wasn't even just that. It was like shows like Cops ruined that. So,
Well, okay, so there's Cops is a very good example because in theory, what Cops was it was that wouldn't I would say that's more like documentary. Like
well, absolutely. But I mean, that's what people started craving at that point in time. Because if I'm watching an episode of MASH, okay, Or like even worse, Golden Girls. All right, so
Oh yeah.
I've got 3 of these girls here, 4 of them if I count Sophia. 2 of them are going to get into a fight somewhere along this, and we're all going to make up by the end. Okay, and it's going to be fine. So, I could do the same thing. Let's move over to the Cosby Show here. Okay, so one of the 2 kids is going to get into trouble. They're going to have a dad chat with Dr. Cosby. Okay, and then we're all going to make up at the end. Got it. Cops was one of those ones who's like, this might be that episode where I see a guy who gets plugged.
That's correct.
Yeah.
You're absolutely right.
And that was different than anything else that you ever saw on TV ever.
Completely.
So, yeah. And so I think, like, if you're looking for something that's a real fundamental shift, it probably would have to take place before that Netflix thing. And then, so, because, I mean, it's not just the medium that's changing in that case. It's kind of like audience expectations that's changing.
Well, you're right. There's that Cops is a perfect example, and I would argue that it does still. I think the genesis of it was documentary style, but you're right.
Sure.
It evolved into something different because of exactly what you're talking about.
Yeah.
Sort of, as a matter of fact, that's the kind of thing that people actually wanted from reality shows.
Yeah,
but
fakey,
and then it's fake as shit, right?
fake.
So the big takeoff on that, the one that really set the stage for everything, was MTV's The Real World, which
yeah. I remember watching that.
And I gotta tell you, there was no show that I found more fucking boring than that. I did
World
not.
And its little brother. What was the other one?
Road Rules.
Road Rules. Thank
Yes.
you. Yeah.
These I found insufferable. I was like,
I used to watch that all the time. Man.
Did you get into it?
Sam and I were we were way into it there for a bit because that was, I mean, that's got to be late '90s, early aughts.
Well, the original stuff was sort of early '90s, but yeah, it's
Real World. Yeah.
Yeah.
There was another one that we used to watch. It wasn't like Big Brother or anything like that, but it was another MTV one that was on at the time.
Like,
I can't remember.
Was it about pregnant teens? You guys weren't watching.
We weren't watching the pregnant teen ones.
You guys weren't watching like Jersey Shore or some shit, were you?
No, we wasn't watching Jersey Shore.
Because you said MTV.
I remember that shit, yeah. It's with the situation. Oh my God!
They
Yeah,
cleaned up with that show,
they did
man.
clean up with that show, man. There were like tons of spinoffs from stuff like that.
Oh yeah,
too.
yeah.
No. It was something I can't remember what it was. But I remember watching the first season of Survivor, man. So
yeah, what was the big thing we all thought the show?
Somebody was gonna die.
And it was exactly your cops argument.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. It was like, it's not just death, it's going to be cannibalism.
I'm telling you, because I remember that was the big discussion. That was what everybody
was. Yeah. Yeah, but that kind of, I mean, so that was always there in some respects. I mean, live TV was the thing for a long time. But it was, Johnny Carson. It was, the
good point.
The local news. Yeah. It was The Price is Right.
Yeah.
It was the guys on the Sunday shows. That was your live TV, man.
Mm-hmm.
It was very controlled. Kind of thing, because nobody wanted to get in trouble with the FCC. So Dare wouldn't shoot somebody on TV.
Try not to.
Right, yeah, that's why, like the guy burning in Vietnam is like, holy shit, we need to stop this war.
Yeah, that's and yeah, when I found out that it all came down to its cost, you mentioned it, right? Is if you take a multicam sitcom and you look at the cost of hiring the actors, hiring the crew, versus you hire these nobodies, you get like you can get like a non-union crew in there.
Yeah.
And a lot of times, you have the people, depending on the show, a lot of times they'll give them the cameras and say, well, you guys are filming yourselves.
Yeah, I've had it.
Right.
Yeah.
And that's where the risk on it is so low that they're like, if the show doesn't take off, that's fine. It costs so little that we've lost essentially
We'll
nothing.
pull it after two airings, and then just we've already got 3 other in the pipeline, so that we haven't that been greenlit but haven't dropped yet. So but then like the other thing is I just don't think that people just watch that much TV anymore. So
they do.
I don't think so either.
Like TV,
like TV, like I look at my daughter and like her cousins, none of them watch TV. They all watch YouTube. I mean, and it makes sense. It's a superior technology in a lot of ways. you have a lot more control over what it is that you watch, which people just naturally like. And I mean, and it's not just even what you watch, but it's kind of how you watch it, whether you save it, whether you pause it, whether you go back and certain, I mean, you're not waiting for other people. Not say, hey, I didn't catch that. What is that?
Yeah.
What do you say? Kind of
Yeah.
thing. It's just a superior technology, man. So in
Yeah.
terms of like actually delivering that kind of content, and it does multiple formats of it too. So not only do you get like live content on there, so, but you can get, highly polished edited content. You can get rough amateur content. You can get music that's just music. You can get podcasts that's just words, words, words.
Yep. Yep.
You can
Yep.
get just about anything, there that you want. Um, it's just a behemoth, man. So that's the other thing. I mean, if you just take a look at the amount of time that it's watched compared to everything now, of course, those are aggregate statistics across the entire globe.
Yep.
But I mean, okay, so fine. In the middle of Russia, they had Mexican soap operas in the 1980s. That you could like beam because like it was cloudy
You're not joking.
and it would bounce off of you like correctly, and you'd be able to pick it up a little bit.
You actually have to turn the dish.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's not even a dish; it's that fucking wire thing.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
No,
So,
there's lots of different things that went into that. Yeah.
So, but now, I mean, you can basically like, I mean, any kind of content. I mean, and YouTube being a distinctly American platform, I mean, it's just, oh my God, it's everywhere. And I mean, the amount of cultural like export that's taken place over the last 15 years probably outdoors any number of things that Elvis did.
Sort of a problem. Well, and this is actually so that is the major concern, if you want to call it a concern. You're right, because the sheer amount of numbers, you're absolutely right. It dwarfs anything that we've seen in terms of previous television watching or anything like that, right?
Mhm.
It's just like you've said there about YouTube, the haves versus the have-nots. It is way, way more. It's way more of a 1% thing than anybody,
Yeah, I don't know how much of a problem that is, though. I mean, quite honestly, content on YouTube basically should be free at this point in time. I mean,
well, it is.
well, yeah, it pretty much is. I mean, what YouTube Red's only like $5 a month. It's like maybe it's 8 or something. I can't remember. It's cheap. So, and that's just to get rid of the ads.
Yeah.
But as far as content creators, I mean, the days where you're going to make a mint as a content creator are done. Okay, so
Unless you're one of those guys, but that's
unless
about
you're
it.
one of those guys, but here's the thing: is even those guys melt into the oblivion after a while. Okay, I
Oh,
mean,
you have some time in the sun, but it's not forever.
you're gonna melt in the sun, dude. You were an ice cream bar. So, and then like the more of that actually exists, the less that like individual in content creators actually matter in terms of that, because it's basically just thinning the veil between like what actually is happening, because if people are willing to do it for free, okay, I'll take the free one, please, kind of thing. And then if it's pretty good, it's like, ah, great, let me get on your Patreon, kick you a couple bucks. And so it's going to turn into that kind of system, more so than anything else, because I don't know, man. I've been following the content creator space for a little while, and it's just getting like every time that I see these guys post on it, it's like, okay, guys, it's getting worse because of this, and so you can just see the trend,
Oh yeah, yeah.
kind of thing. Yeah.
Well, I mean, that is the tough part about it is, yeah, the one model that they've talked about, and there is some truth to this. This goes to all the streaming services. This does go to Spotify and everything else. They were right about this. They said, this is the concept upon which Steam is built. Is can we make something better than free? And the answer is yes.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
You will pay for this stuff,
Mm-hmm.
but at the same time, it means we have to give the value to make it worth your while to not pirate this shit. Right.
Yeah, and YouTube's getting there. So,
And that's
yeah,
sort of the
it's getting
thing
there.
is with YouTube, they have to make it worth it's you don't pirate it because you don't pay,
Hmm.
but how can you give something to the people, reward or whatever, encourage or keep getting material to be produced financially
Right.
in a free setup like
Yeah.
this?
Well, I mean, Yeah, no, that's where it's going. Steam's kind of the same way too. In fact, Steam's probably there and has been there a little bit further than YouTube has been.
Oh yes, yes.
And especially from the creator standpoint, I mean, Steam is all about like, okay, can I get enough eyeballs on my shit
Oh
so
yeah,
to get
yeah,
people to
yeah.
reserve this so that I can charge for it, kind of thing. YouTube's going to go that way in some respects too. I mean, the ad sharing revenue on YouTube. I mean, you can just look at the trend line in terms of how much compensation they give to creators over time. It is just down, 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 per thousand clicks. I mean, like fucking gaming content is basically free.
Yeah.
In fact, it's going to get to the point that I'm going to have to pay you to watch me.
Well, on the flip side, okay, so over there, yes, it's basically down like this. The only place where you're going to make money is if you have that, if you basically have that audience, then you take that over to Twitch or Kick, and then you can
Yeah, you
actually
can. Yeah,
make some money that way.
if you
But
can convert them. So some guys do that though. I have seen a few people do that successfully.
yeah,
So
but like you
you
said,
know,
it's it's a timed event.
it's very much so a timed event. You have X amount of time. So there's not going to be a Charlton Heston of fucking YouTube.
There is this Mr. Beast, and if that's
dude,
your Charlton Heston, then fuck it.
even that guy's numbers are going down. Okay.
Well, yeah, what else is he gonna do?
Well,
This is
exactly.
yeah,
I mean,
yeah,
okay, so eventually you do enough crazy bullshit.
yeah.
And then I mean, even he got smart. He's like, okay, so let me start putting my money into like other things.
Let me sell candy bars with my face on
Yeah,
it.
let me sell candy
Yeah,
bars with my face on it. You know what? Maybe I should open that IRA.
Mom was right.
I was right.
That's
Yeah.
right.
So I mean, it's kind of going that direction, but I mean, I don't know, man. I think like a lot of social media is going that way. So you're gonna have to pay people to actually pay attention to you eventually.
Well,
So
it's free.
I know it's still free. Yeah.
It's free. You're asking people to voluntarily. Well, again, that's the weird thing is.
Well, that's exactly what people do on Substack.
Yeah.
So yeah, I mean, so yeah, dish out free memberships, blah blah blah. That's not actually free, you know. So
No, at the very least, I mean, if we go ahead and put away the server costs and all everything like that, at the very minimum, that's time,
well, exactly.
right?
Well, and that's the great thing that I think like a lot of people who are in this content creator space didn't really realize is that yeah, okay, there is a okay, we can get into all the things about how kids are glued to the devices and stuff. I don't know if I necessarily buy some of the arguments behind that, but whatever. Okay, but like, okay, so still, there's only X amount of hours within a day,
Yeah.
and your content takes Y amount of time to actually consume to the standard that you would expect me to consume it as.
Yes.
Okay, so all right, let me put out a billion of these things, and then it's like, wait a minute, why isn't our numbers going up? It's like obviously, come on, man. So,
There used to be people that was their whole model was
yeah, yeah.
just sheer amount of fucking like 14 hours of content a day.
Well, yeah, and that's why TikTok took off like crazy for a little while because I mean you get your 90-second clips, and then YouTube was like, oh well, we can just change the setting here, and there we go. Now you can do 90-second clips over here too.
Yeah.
It wasn't
Yeah.
exactly the
Yeah.
sport that they built around
Yeah.
their thing, but still at the same point in time, it's also like, all right, so how long are you going to sit there and doom scroll through, like 1 to 2 minute clips? Not much more than you would if you're actually just watching something, I mean, because it's X amount of hours in the day. You have Y amount of shit to do.
Yeah.
So, I mean, there's only so much of it. The one thing that I notice typically about like long form content, the reason why I leave that on is because I'm not paying attention to it. Okay. I'm listening to the background. I don't want to sit here. I like my thing, and this is the latest craze on YouTube, is to do like the 10 to 12 minute videos. I fucking hate them. So, because that's me having to find something else every next 10 to 12 minutes. Otherwise, you're going to dish something out to me that I don't want to fucking watch. And so you find me the hour and a half long one.
Allow me to. All right. So I'm going to take your football and run with it for a moment. And I'm going to say this because usually and I'm going to do this many, many times a week, is I'm going to be in that gym right there, right? And
Oh, yeah.
it's going to be a minimum of about 35 minutes.
Yep.
So there are plenty of things that seem interesting but I'm not going to watch it for 12. I'm not going to watch it for
Mm-mm.
15.
Nope.
Why? Because it's going to kick over
Yep.
and I'm going to disrupt my workout
Yep.
because it's going to take me another 15 fucking minutes to find something
Right.
worth watching.
And you're going to give me something that you think that I want, but I absolutely don't want that. Otherwise,
Oh, no, Patrick. Anything auto queued has been disabled for. As a matter of fact, the YouTube app had this problem. It put in this auto cue thing there for a little bit.
You can turn that off, though.
You could not turn that off for quite some time. For about 4 weeks, the only thing that you could do was go in there and empty it. But otherwise, it would, and this was just on the mobile app, right?
Oh, okay.
Right? Where it would just take things that you watched or you started to watch and it would throw those in there. And you could not turn that off. Now, they have since disabled that. But I must have sent
I remember that.
Yeah, I sent about 100
declarations of jihad.
Yeah, that's correct. I was not polite about it, and I even said that in the messages. I was like, "You will continue to get these every day until this is turned off," and it's off now. So obviously, it was something that didn't work.
Yeah, no, like I don't think you were the only one who was upset about that.
I absolutely was not. The internet had something to say too, but yeah, that's the thing is it is so. Algorithms still don't get it. They still don't understand what it is that I'm looking for, what it is that you're looking for, why you actually like the things that you like, why their recommendations are overwhelmingly poor.
Oh yeah. Yeah, no. I mean, and that's across the board. That's YouTube, that's Twitter, that's the fucking Google News app. They're all bad about that. It's like, why would I'm not interested in this? There was a one-off thing that I checked like 2 months ago. Come on, man. So, there's no like frequency that you like, no, it's just like, well, you liked it once, so you might like it again. It's like, no, man, I don't. And so like, I don't know, man. So like, I've been off Twitter for a couple days because I noticed like, I don't know if yours is doing it, but you scroll through it, it'll reset your scroll and you'll have to scroll through all the same fucking shit that you just watched, like fucking like last 5 minutes of doom scroll. So I don't know why it does that. So
it only does. So do you have it set to for you or following?
That's my for you.
Well, don't use that.
Well, that's how I find new shit. So
I say get it from the people you follow. I think that's
well, I have to go out and find those guys. So
well,
yeah. And then like I don't know, man. I don't even go into comments anymore. So I can't do it. So it like I just there's not a reason to go in there.
So here's all right. If you've been off there, I presume that you've seen the big news of the past 24 hours.
Well, right? There's another shooting, but I didn't look at any videos. I don't want to see another guy get shot. So
well, you don't see shit. Here's the thing well, stop saying that because we just talked about cops and the whole thing was like we're waiting to see you die. So you can pretend to be all high and mighty right now.
Yeah, but those are the guys who are running from cops. It's different, man.
Well, okay, so here's the thing about this that just it drives me absolutely nuts and I had to get away from it is if you still have the expectation that nothing that anybody says matters at this point. All right. And I'm only saying this in this regard where in years gone by, people who blatantly called out things as untruths, right, would at least get a mention in mainstream media.
Not anymore. No.
It's the thing is nobody's going to call you on this because it's omnipresent.
Yeah, it's so ubiquitous that nobody's actually going to pay attention to it. So
right. So I'll tell you about this video, and there's still some things that this is not as clear. And the other one, the cop getting hit one, that one was a little bit hard to distinguish, but this one is even worse, right? Because
it looked like they were tackling somebody. I just saw a still of it. I was like, I'm not going to zoom in on that.
Let me say again, you don't see anything. I've seen two things about it that are interesting, right? So there's there's a guy on the ground. He does have a gun. Okay, that's determined. You can see it, right? And at some point, one of the officers does take the gun from him because it's his back. You can see
Oh,
them.
it's not in his hand?
Nope.
Oh.
So here's the weird thing: is you can see the officer take the gun from the back because he has it in his like the worst possible place, right? Is just in the waistband in the back of his pants.
Oh, so this guy's not a concealed carry guy.
He is a concealed carry guy.
Well, like, does he do it every day? I know a lot of concealed carry guys. None of them just carry it in their fucking waistband.
That's what you mean. No, no. So here's the thing: is there's like 7 guys on him, right? And they're pinning him to the ground. And so at one point, you just see that, and again, you don't see this, but an officer starts unloading on him, right? Now, somebody does say gun.
You only have one gun, or did he have another one?
He only had one.
Okay.
Which I mean, that's enough. He had a gun and 2 extra magazines, but the
2 mags?
Yeah.
2 extra ones, so he had 3 mags total?
Yeah.
That's interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He came loaded. But the thing that I saw here that was interesting, right, is because the original argument was that they thought that he reached for the gun. And, in this thing where you're slowing it down, I'm like, I could believe it. I could not believe it. The thing that doesn't add up is like, okay, so if you got 7 guys on him, why would you start shooting, right? Why would you at this point say like, I don't have enough guys?
Did the guy shoot at all?
He did not.
Oh.
Here's the problem: this is where it gets really weird. You do hear a gunshot though, and
That's the cops, right?
this is where it gets weird.
Oh.
Is the guy that takes the gun away from the dude? Okay. Here's the thing: is he's holding the gun by basically like the bottom handle. His finger's not on the trigger. This guy not only had 2 extra mags, he had 1 racked. Right.
Oh, okay.
Okay. So
that's dangerous.
It was dangerous because you can see in one of the stills that it goes off.
Oh, yeah, okay.
You see that the slide is knocked back, right? And so the best theory they have right now is the dude took the gun away, the gun discharged, right?
That happens.
And so the dudes went like, he's shooting.
Yeah.
Now that's a fuck up right there. I'm like, I don't know how to manage that.
If you got
one.
7 guys on them, maybe. I mean,
yeah,
either that or you're, like, could think he just shot one of your. Well, I don't know, man. I mean, that's the whole thing about all this shit is like just fucking kick it to the courts, let them figure it out, because quite honestly, it's like I wasn't there. I mean, even if you see the video and then you see another video, you can't even tell what's not altered anymore. So,
well, that's I mean, that's
I mean, this is the whole thing where people come out with like fucking, oh, there's a new angle from 2 days later. It's like, okay, what's the veracity in this? I mean, can we tell that this isn't fucking AI generated anymore? Okay, or at least, like modified. So come on, man.
Well, so the problem I had with this is, all right, this one to me is, all right, there's 2 components of it that are problematic. Number one, this is frame by frame. The whole thing takes less than like a couple of seconds.
Yeah.
So it's a little bit tougher for me to judge. It's not as cut and dry as the other one. But what I'm saying here, and this is where the last one actually sort of made the point on this one, where look, guy's in the hospital. Okay, he's got internal bleeding. He was hit by that car.
He died. Oh, that guy. Never mind. I thought you were talking about this guy.
Right. Just going on the last one. So here's the thing: is when those things came out, not a single mind was changed. The narrative.
No, man. That's because I mean, earlier you're talking about your cultural touchstones. This is the problem. These are turning into our cultural touchstones.
Yeah.
Where everybody's opinion is really fucking important, just as important as their opinion is on the Star Wars prequels. And it also has just as much impact on their fucking life.
And there are people that think those 2 things are connected.
Oh, yeah, of course they're connected. Yeah. Of course, man. So, no, man, I mean, like, yeah, I saw that and I was like, oh, okay, well, this will be fun. But it happened on a Saturday, so I was like, well, nobody's going to have any good analysis on this for a week anyway.
Right.
So just chill the fuck out on that because you're right about the last one. It's like, well, Comes out a couple days later, and it's like, all right, so the guy got hospitalized for this. All right, that's fine, but let's see the fucking. I need to see, well, I don't need to see it because it's not my fucking business, okay? But like adjudicate that shit.
Right.
All right, so and I'm sorry, guys, that's going to take 9 months. Chill the fuck out. I mean,
But that's, I mean, the the minds were made up on it before the incidents ever happened,
Of course. I
right?
mean,
And that's
there could be one that happens tomorrow. I guarantee you, I can predict with probably 95% accuracy how an individual is going to feel about that based on who they voted for, which is terrible if you think about it. you know, so, that's dumb. So,
and
but
that's
yeah,
where I was this weekend with this shit. Where I don't. All right, so I guess the perspective I'll take on this, and you tell me if I'm wrong on this here, is it gave me a ugly opinion of the people on social media because I think the regular people out there, they didn't see it.
no,
They may hear something about it and they'll remember the version of this that their friend tells them, right?
yeah.
If anything happens like that. But
Well, they probably see it. I mean, but like,
they might.
I the social media is not a healthy place for certain people. So, and unfortunately, so there's a scaling effect that occurs there that you don't see if you're not on social media.
Yeah.
So, and the scaling effect is, like, yeah, I mean, you remember going through like middle school, you had those like couple kids that were like, you know,
For what reason?
well, they
What
just,
kind of?
I mean, very, very highly opinionated
Okay.
about certain things. And, they were the person that you did not want to be on a group project with,
Hmm.
and stuff like that. But there were only a couple of them. Yes. But the problem is you scale that up to the like level of social media, and the thing that's kind of turned me off to it a little bit is just the absolute rank exposure of how many fucking foreign accounts there are. It is
Pretty wild. Yeah.
horrifying,
Yeah.
man. I mean, it's actually worse than people think it is. So, and that's the thing because 9 out of 10 people like you have to dig into the comments to find someone say, "Is this you from Pakistan?" Kind of thing. But if you actually click on that shit and go look at it yourself, and I know it takes a couple clicks to get there, and most people aren't going to do that. There's even like seemingly normal people. It was like, huh, Sierra Leone, hey?
You have to go off the reservation for people to do the investigation.
You do.
Right.
Yes, you do.
Right.
But just taking a random sample of some, is pretty enlightening. Okay, and that's why I stopped paying attention to comments in the last week because I was like, okay, if it's not the original two guys that were in the thing, all right, the rest of all y'all can fuck off right now. Because I'm just going to assume that you ain't got the stars and stripes behind your name there, buddy. Yeah. And I'm going to be right most of the time. So, and that kind of turned me off to it. And then, because, like, I know you can spot them pretty easily too, because, I mean, you're much more steeped in English and diction than I am. But, I mean, it's so easy to tell sometimes. It's like, yeah, that's not how we use that article, so, or different.
Oh,
Yeah, all kinds of shit like that. But then you start looking into some of the other accounts that, it's like, well, this guy's making a pretty decent point. Let me click. It's like, yeah, okay, fucking Egypt, got it. It's like, you don't belong here, man. This isn't for you. I mean, like, how can I get Twitter to delete all these guys and block everybody from overseas, man? I mean, if you did that, it would be crickets on half of these things. So, and then you would start to see it's like, oh, wait a minute. I wandered into this bar.
well, this is okay. So there's a couple of brilliant points that you're making here. Okay, so the first and foremost, yes. So let's do with part number one. Yeah, there are some dead giveaways a lot of times, right?
Yeah.
Where a lot of, and this is not relegated just to Twitter. Social media is lousy. Every form of social media is lousy with foreign accounts, right?
Oh yeah, YouTube's filthy with it.
Yeah, you
YouTube is so filthy with it, I can't even read my comments anymore.
you didn't bother. It's
No,
like, why would you? Yeah,
no.
it's so there's that. Um, the you can usually tell by number one what the people are saying,
Oh yeah.
where you can just narrow it down and say you got a 3 in 4 chance of not being from here.
Mhm.
That includes Canada.
Yeah, that definitely includes Canada now.
Definitely includes Canada.
Dude, the Canadians that like us aren't on Twitter.
You know why?
They don't need to be.
They're at work.
They're fine. Yeah,
They're at work.
they're at
They're
work.
healthy. They're doing what they're
They're doing
supposed to
what
be doing.
Canadians usually do, which is mind your own business.
The best of them, yes, yes.
So yeah,
The fucking malcontents, yes. The
yeah,
people
they're on Twitter. So
the people that are medicated or need their medication are the one look. No, it's the
no,
same.
you're not wrong.
They pulled up the fucking numbers on this when they break it down. They say like, who are the most unhappy people on this planet?
Yeah, it's people on Twitter.
Keep going.
The Canadians on Twitter.
Subdivide it. So take the two biggest groups of the planet that we have.
Oh, men and women.
That's correct. So subdivide that between those two. Who is it?
The breakdown on men and women on Twitter?
It just depends on what version of Twitter you're on.
Oh, that's right, because you do get your own personalized version of Twitter, don't you?
Absolutely. So so in the main PvP server, it's men.
Right. The PvE server is largely female.
But where it comes down to who's in this movie, which is that entire other side that I never see. But yeah, when it comes down to it, it's they do the measurements on this here. Who are the least happy people in this country? Well, it's women, and you can track where they vote. It's straight up. It's like the further liberal you get, and a woman, you are unhappy.
I almost guarantee you, it's the richer you get, the more unhappy you are. So
I wouldn't doubt that there's a correlation with that, but there's two things that tie into that. There are, number one, it's this political persuasion and this sex are the least happy, but that also applies to biggest number of people on SSRIs. Now, I'm not decrying, the medication. I'm just saying that's the group that is notably the unhappiest, which also means that they're the most vocal. And this is the same reason, like, again, it's people joke about this shit where they're like, why are these fucking women so involved in ICE? Why are these women involved in Palestine? It's like, you know what? They don't care. They never cared. But what they're doing is they're injecting themselves into something where they feel like they can be part of something because that matters, right? It is what it is.
These are people who lack community. So, more so than anything else.
Well, lack community, or they're looking
to church. It'd be all right.
Or they're looking for something to expose themselves, right? It's not necessarily, and it's not the first time it's happened. These people have existed for quite some time.
No, we used to meet them all the time on Xbox Live.
Yeah, absolutely. This is just a different avenue to do it. But to look around and say, okay, because these are the people that, yes, they're going to be active on here and Reddit and all these other places, and to look at that and say, well, this is a decent cross section of what America is like.
I am absolutely convinced that there is no such thing as a social media platform that is a decent cross section of America. I don't think it exists, Jeff. So, first of all, you have to self-select into it. Okay, so right off the bat, you've introduced amazing amounts of bias right there.
There you go.
So and then on top of that, not only do you self-select into social media in general, you get to pick which one you want to do.
Right.
And then not only that, but it builds a cocoon around you.
Yep.
Based upon your choices. So yeah, it's extremely unhealthy in that respect. But here's the thing that gets me about it is that, like, not very many people are willing to wander into that. Okay? I mean, it looks like a lot. But when you're talking about the differences between accounts and activity and hyperactivity, you're talking about slicing the pie really thin by the time you get to that point in time where you're talking about blue-haired screaming moms. Okay? I mean, there aren't oceans of them out there. Okay? You go around this town, I can probably find about 50 of them, and they were all downtown today.
Shit, dude, you can find them in an Arby's. I mean, that's the thing is the
you can find one in an Arby's.
Well, that's what I'm saying is the attitude is there.
Right, but enough to the point in time where I'm going to get in my car on a 3-degree weather day and go stand and hold a sign in front of City Hall.
Yeah.
Okay, so I'm going to put that like reasonably
in Colorado Springs.
In Colorado Springs at 1 in 10,000. So that means we got 670,000 people in this county, maybe 700,000, just call it even. So, okay, so yeah, I can get a crowd of 70 of them together. You know? So,
And on
um,
TV, if you film it right,
and
it
on
looks like a
TV,
big
if I
crowd.
film it, yeah,
Yeah,
of course, yeah,
yeah,
especially if I organize it through Blue Sky or something like
yep,
that, I
yep,
might get a better turnout. But whatever, dude, you know. But that's kind of the point because, you know, like there is a hyperactivity, a hyper awareness that you and I have for political events because we like to talk about it.
yeah, yeah,
Okay, that just most people don't have. All right. So when I go over to the yacht club or I talk to my students or my colleagues, some of my colleagues are a little bit more hyper aware of this stuff because that's what they do. They read, for
yeah,
funsies,
yeah.
kind of like you and I do. But I mean, most of the time, the general understanding of what's going on, I'm already in the 99th percentile amongst people that I know. You've got me beat a little bit. Well, we kind of specialize too. So,
Right.
you
I
know?
ask you, it's like, what's new with hand grenades,
Yeah,
Pat?
exactly. Yeah. I can tell you all about new drone technology. You want to hear about the Ukrainian front today? I got you. I got you, man.
I do,
So,
not now,
yeah,
but
no, no. So, no, same thing. But like some of the other, like just in general, I mean, first of all, most other people have like commitments that are much, much more important to them. I mean, this is like a hobby, but they have other hobbies. They play golf and stuff, you know? Um, or they're really into movies or something like that, or music or whatever. And so politics is just it wears a lot of people out. So it really does, because it never ends. Seemingly there's chunks of it that never change, but that's actually good, even though some people don't like that. But that's kind of the point behind the Constitution. So it's working to spec. So, and then there's other elements of it that it's just really stress inducing for some people, and eventually they grow out of that. It's like, wait a minute, I'm stressing over something that I don't need to stress out about. That the solution to this is to stop. You know,
that's true.
there's like a lot of stress that a lot of people have in their lives anyway, let alone taking on voluntary stress. In the forms of like, I mean, literally, like Minnesota is. I know like three people there. I'm not telling them, hey man, is your street burning down? Because I know it's not. Okay. Because it's a city of like 3 million fucking people. The chance that it's happening on my buddy's street is about zero.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah,
And it's not
right.
my business. you know? So, you know, so I'm not going to bother him about that. You know,
Yeah. I mean, this is so. You're right. I mean, the problem here is, all right. So I can flip this around here, and all right, I can tell you that there are going to be people tomorrow,
Mhm.
right, that are going to be stressing this or deep diving, not this, but they'll be looking at today's football games with the same scrutiny,
They will.
and stressing the same things, right?
Yeah, yeah. So you do kind of pick your poison.
And that's well, no, and to be fair, I mean, there's plenty of people who are going to be doing that about how they played Battlefield tonight. There are going to be people
Mhm.
that, right? So I do get it, and I understand that there's a certain amount of, hey, whatever it is that your thing is your thing,
Yeah, yeah.
right? Um, and I guess for me too, I go in movements of basically like on and off, right? I care about it deeply, then I don't. Then I care about it deeply, and then I don't, right?
Yeah.
Because it kind of takes me to the edge, right? There are certain things where, and maybe this just goes back to who we were as kids, right? There's a certain amount of observation, or you know maybe it was the way it was presented as a kid, maybe it was the way that it was presented as this is something that's important, maybe this is something where maybe in school they started when you're doing current events or something like that,
Hmm.
and it's sort of stressed as being informed is important, right? Maybe
Yeah.
it's not, maybe
Maybe
it
it's
is.
yeah. Maybe it's not.
It's hard to say, right?
Well, Yeah, ever since seventh grade or whatever, that argument's been made to me is like being an engaged and informed voter is your duty as a citizen in some respects. But then if you think about it, it's like, okay, yeah, but do issues in Minneapolis affect me more than the mayoral issues here in Colorado Springs? The answer to that question is distinctly no. And so just by my very like what I choose to pay attention to kind of reveals my own hypocrisy. You know?
Or at least ideology.
Okay, well, sure, yeah, yeah, but whatever, man. I mean, I don't know. I just kind of see it as it's something that social media has allowed a lot of the people who were really into current events gather in one place.
Yes.
So, and are they driving a narrative? Maybe. Are they affecting the electorate? Possibly. I mean, certainly they're affecting the administration in some ways, but is that any different than it was during like protests in Vietnam or Kent State or, like the civil rights movement or fucking slavery, whatever? The answer is probably not. So, it's probably all the same, birds of the same feather.
It's a version of it.
Correct. Yeah. I mean, but when you get your news once a week on the back of a, wagon, as opposed to this happened like 30 minutes ago,
Well, it's
1,200 miles away. So, there's something about it that does get into that cops reality TV kind of thing.
oh,
Where
it
it's like,
most
oh, it's
certainly
fucking
does.
going
Yeah.
on right now.
Yeah.
What's happening? I want to be the first guy to know. Kind of thing. But that just it leads us down paths that are just not productive. And, I don't know, man. Just like the lack of patience that I see amongst. I mean, well, but I mean, some of that's by design too. So I think it's probably good to be vigilant about that. But
Well, at the very least, to be aware of the different perspectives, right? I mean, it's
sure,
not that I don't want to, I wouldn't want to denigrate anybody for certain just because they pay attention to certain things. But also, let's let's dial it down a little bit with the main character syndrome. I mean, there's a
yeah, go back to being an NPC for a while. It'd be good for
because
you.
you're acting like it. I mean, this is
Yeah, exactly.
if I we
That's a good way to put main character syndrome.
it
Yeah,
is a well documented term, but I
yeah, I
mean,
know. I just
it's
hadn't heard it in a little bit, but that's definitely true.
well, that's again, that's the thing is like when you're going out there and you're making a TikTok of yourself crying about some dude who got sent back. It's like this doesn't impact you. It doesn't.
Mhm.
You're and don't sit there and lie to me and say like this is about empathy or anything like that. It's because you are injecting yourself into this,
Yeah,
and it has nothing to do with you,
yeah.
right? But you want it to do something to do with you, right?
Sure, yeah, you want to do that storytelling from, I mean, everybody plays this as an FPS. So,
Oh yeah,
I mean, of course, if you decide, and I mean, I don't know, man, I've had things that I'm passionate about from time to time in my life too.
definitely.
Yeah, but still, at the same point in time, I mean, there was always a level of pragmatism that was just like, oh man, I got to be at work tomorrow,
Kind of
kind of
it.
thing, but I mean, that old feeling of missing out on historical events, blah, 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 some people really get into that. And then the other thing is like other people just have genuine pain in their lives. They just don't know how to channel it, man. And so you channel it by venting in some respects and
Well,
getting involved in stuff like this, like Trantifa and whatnot, and setting up barricades and yada yada yada. It's like, dude, fuck, get a hobby.
well,
Go get a dog.
this
So, it was like you can do a lot of good with your two hands. You don't need to fix the whole fucking thing. I mean,
well, that's the. I mean, Patrick. I mean, you've nailed it on the head here. This is the psychological syndrome that they've identified with this here. When they basically look at the here's this group of people and this is where the heat map is versus like this, right? Where it's doing this shit, right? And looking at things really outside your control,
oh
right?
yeah.
Are the things that get you to not think about the problems that you have,
Hmm.
right? Which is why no matter how much of this shit you do, you will never feel one iota better because you didn't improve yourself in any way.
No, and fundamentally, you're not attacking the root problem.
Hell no. No.
Well, and I mean, the other thing about it is, it's just it's really, I mean, like so these guys who are doing this thing, and up there, and I mean, they all think they're on Hitler patrol, like the rest of us aren't.
Right,
I mean, kind of thing. It's
right,
like, trust me, if there's a Hitler out there, we got this. All right,
right.
we'll all be there. We'll all be there for that meeting. Don't worry about
The
that.
dudes with the 400 million guns are looking for that too.
Right? Yeah, exactly.
In fact, they've been waiting for it way more than you have.
Right, right. Yeah. The only thing they'd like more is the zombie apocalypse, but
That
whatever.
is correct.
But that's kind of the point too, man. And it's like, all right, so just dial it back a little bit, and yeah, well, I mean that logic doesn't really work with people because it's like, oh, this is the accelerationist ideology, that is really bitten in the. I guess that's been a thing that, I mean, when we were growing up, that wasn't really a thing. So maybe
It
that one's a little bit
was
different.
something that a guy thought way tangential to the group who
When
was,
he was mailing bombs to people, yeah,
yeah.
but that was a guy.
I mean, let's go back to look, Charles Manson was trying to start the race war.
He was trying to start the race war. Yeah, I mean, but like, yeah, the main character thing is that's real, man. Because it's like, oh my God, I need to save the Commonwealth.
Get on your
Yeah,
computer and do it.
I know, man. Yeah, exactly. It's like, so go ahead, build that out of an aircraft,
You can make your character look as fucking butt ugly as you want to in the
That's
process,
absolutely
man.
fine, man.
It's fine.
Yeah, Codsworth will still be nice to me.
He sure will, because at the end of the day, you'll have accomplished as much.
Exactly, but I don't know, man. I'm a little bit privileged because I get to work with people who are actually trying to build a career and stuff. Yeah, I don't deal with the ones who are like, oh, college is too expensive, or like, yeah, I can't get into school and I couldn't get into Dartmouth, you know, kind of thing. But I know they're out there, man. I don't see them. So,
Well,
I don't want to work for money. Yeah.
well, okay, so you put a pin in it right there. You didn't say it directly here, but basically it's those people that, yeah, didn't get into Dartmouth, didn't get
Dartmouth. It's really derogatory. I love it.
and you go down that rabbit hole far enough here, and eventually you say, and why? Well, capitalism.
Capitalism, yeah. Fucking white people, yeah.
Them again.
Them again.
Yeah, that
Yeah.
tiny crowd of people on this planet.
It's the Jews, Jeff.
10%.
It's the Jews.
Think
It's not even
more.
a 10%. It's the 2.5%. So
Well, and it's debatable from day to day whether or not that 2% count as the white people or
I
not.
don't know, man. If you're mad enough, you might as well not care.
So so the white population goes from 8 to 10%, depending on how mad you are at Israel that day.
Yeah.
But yeah, you're absolutely right. And yeah, you got this tiny group of people where either um, they are a minority of people on this planet, and ergo you're bullying them, or they are so superior to you that at 10% they own your ass. I'm
Mm.
like, I don't know how you want to frame this, guys. It's a weird thing where, yeah, it's utterly bizarre, and yeah, it's capitalism. It's
Well, I mean, if I get on my old man box here, it's really simple. It's just people who don't want to actually like work,
yeah,
and not, I mean, okay, so this is, I mean, it's not entirely their fault. I mean, I get it. The office space syndrome thing is a thing, and
yeah.
bullshit jobs and blah, blah, blah. But fuck it, do a bullshit job. It doesn't mean you're a bullshit person.
No,
I mean,
no.
there are very, very fine people in this world who do bullshit jobs. Go do that. I mean, yeah, it's just, it just blows my mind. It's like, well, what entitles you into something that's so much more special? Because, like you just don't feel like doing it. What, really? Because like that's called being human. Welcome to the race.
Did you think your dad wanted to?
And I'm not talking about race. I'm talking about race.
Capital.
All of them. Yeah, the big
one.
one.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I mean, and it's just, I see so many people. Well, I don't personally, because I don't really, well, I'm sure I come across them and they quit school or whatever, do something else, but I don't
Yeah.
know. Drop off my radar somehow, but, like who just like, yeah, okay, well, fine. Everybody has a bullshit job. I'll do one for a couple of years.
Right.
So yeah, no
Right.
worries, man. I mean, you're going to learn some great skills, some great habits, at least with that, and then the next thing you know, you're not going to be doing a bullshit job.
Hey,
Yeah.
look,
Especially if you're
sometimes,
good at it.
hey, sometimes the bullshit jobs are where you figure out what you don't like.
Correct. Yeah.
I know that
So,
sounds crazy, but
oh, that's no. I tell people that all the time. It's like you don't know what if you haven't worked a lot of jobs yet, you don't know what you like or don't like. So don't tell me that you want to be, a fucking movie star, right? Or the next Hemingway, if you haven't tried like writing copy for your local newspaper or something. Go give it a shot. How do you think he got some fucking started?
did you read just the one book?
Did you read just one book and say this is what I'm going to do? Yeah.
Like, oh, I got you, but he already wrote it.
You wrote that, yeah. We're good on those.
Yeah,
We're good on Old Man's in the Seas.
great book.
Yeah,
Short.
short,
Yeah,
blissfully
fantastic.
short. Yeah,
Fucking brutal. But
yeah,
yeah,
but
that's
yeah, but that's kind of the point, man. It's like just get out there and do it. But no, I mean, you got to get involved in the advocacy, and you've got to, I mean, fight the fascists and blah blah blah. And it's like,
right.
and I mean,
All
some of
those
that's just like
fascists.
not appreciation for exactly how good the country's doing right now. I mean, it is going, dude, Jeff, this year is going to be amazing. So if any of the economic indicators are actually remotely correct, okay, I mean, dude, this is going to make money hands over fist this year. Um,
I saw dudes saying that the GDP projections may be way lower.
I've yeah, I've
You
seen
must have seen this
I've
shit
seen
too.
people say it's upwards to 6, and that's like fucking World War II growth.
This is fucking
That's
ridiculous.
crazy, man.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
So, and these are not like your, like I've got all the Trump flags on my Trump kind of guys, man. These are guys who actually look at numbers, you know,
Right.
and it's just projections and just taking a look. Like, even it just came out quietly the other day. All the wage growth that took place in fourth quarter last year. Nobody likes to hear that anymore. That used to be great news, but now
Zero
it's like,
reporting.
yeah, no,
Yeah.
nobody wants to talk about that because not only does it give Orange Man some credit, but it actually is the thing that solves a lot of these fucking social problems, where it's like, well, yeah, but the problem's not the money. The problem is I don't want the work part. Yeah. And so now we're kind of getting to the crux of it, you know, where it's like, yeah, okay, I get it. So you want to be full-time activist, got it. So, well, that's fortunately not really in demand.
Well, somebody else has that job.
Somebody else has that job. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
And they're doing their thing right now, and they're on Twitter right now
Right, right.
calling what happened in Minnesota a
Yeah,
an execution, and
yeah,
nobody's calling them on it.
yeah.
And that's, I mean, it is. That's how noisy the din is, right? Where
I'm gonna do my social justice program. You get a degree in social justice. So I get my
that's a
job. I
real
get my
line,
job
man.
in social. I know it is, but I've never even heard of a social justice degree.
It doesn't exist.
Where?
It doesn't exist.
Oh, it does not
It
exist.
does
Yeah,
not.
no,
Even
no.
at Dartmouth, there's no. They do not have a
I
program
think
that's
we just
just.
found our punching bag. Cool, man.
Even they don't have it. It's like, okay, so which is this English? Is
Right.
this social? Where does social
Yeah, yeah,
justice?
yeah.
What is this? It's
I think
letters,
it's
arts,
fine
and
number. Yeah,
sciences.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah, it's like nobody knows how to categorize that stupid shit. And it's like, who the fuck wrote this into a TV program?
Yeah, I know, but it's just like, I mean, that's wish casting in some respects.
Oh,
But
sure.
yeah. But I mean, it's just like, dude, stop that. So like, go get a job.
Well,
So go get a job, start making something of yourself, start saving a little bit of money. You're gonna realize that it's not impossible to get a house in this country. Fuck, it's far from it. Okay, it's just like you don't think the world's going to be a thing in 5 years, so you're not going to fucking try. You're in for a rude awakening in about 59 months here.
well, all right. Again, we've talked about this before. We've talked about that power stat. Um, the end of times has been predicted many times.
Oh, consistently,
It's always wrong.
it's been flat.
We're still
Yeah,
here,
we're still
and
here.
if the meteor hits us, we won't know, and we'll be wrong, and we won't be having this discussion.
No, it won't matter.
That's correct.
So we'll be running the streets naked for a couple days until it hits. So
Either that, or we won't know.
don't know. Yeah,
Don't know. Right? It could be. So if that compounding math problem known as the supervolcano finally says that
it's payday, boys.
and it hits, we won't know. You mean particularly, we will be smithereens immediately.
Immediately, it'll
right?
be great.
That'll be fine.
Yeah.
Everybody, people in Australia, they're gonna have some problems.
Yeah,
but they won't be ours.
No, we're not going to be the ones freezing to death.
That's correct. We will be fucking dust, and that's okay, right? But yeah, the thing where I don't know if that's how people felt in 1950. I don't know if people felt in 55 or whatever. It's like, okay, we're only 5 years away from becoming the electric singularity of souls. So
I don't want to join Planet Earth. I'm sorry, man.
So it's like, why bother getting a job now when we're all going to be a collective energy of souls? I don't know if that's what people are seeing now. I don't know if that's where they're seeing, like, this is why there's no hope, et cetera, et cetera. But as you said here, in terms of human accomplishment, in terms of, again, that nasty capitalism and how it's actually brought more people out of poverty than anything
Oh my God,
else.
the charts on that are amazing if you've actually looked at them.
It's
just like poverty levels since like the 1800s. It goes from like everybody to like nobody. You know, and I mean, it's all defined as the same thing. It's like, did you skip a meal this week? It's not based upon whether or not you can afford a four-door sedan.
No shit. It's the same one question. Did you eat?
Did you eat? Are you hungry right now?
So if you go back to 1950, there were way more no's.
Yes.
Versus 2026,
yeah.
where it's like there's way more yeses,
yeah.
right? The same thing where, again, that narrative where they're like, well, actually, communism lifted more people. It's like, no, it didn't. No, it absolutely did not.
No, it killed them.
It 100% killed
them.
them.
It's cheating if you reduce the denominator, guys.
Pat. People say this stuff, man.
I know. Well, they like the idea that what's yours is ours, and you know we can all get up at like 9:30 in the morning and go to the park, and nobody has to work a bullshit job or report to some asshole boss. You know, but those things are all way better than starvation and roving bands of bandits, which was kind of like the norm for about 3,000 years.
3,000 rough years.
Yeah.
Like people got used to it? But they shouldn't have had to.
No. Especially considering capitalism has been around a long, long time. It wasn't just birthed up from whole cloth in 1776.
That's true. Right, and it wasn't done by a couple of dudes shaking their, their hands together saying like, I have.
Oh, those 3% of people. Yeah.
It's them. And they said like, I have an evil idea.
Right. Yeah, exactly.
Right.
So, no, it's just silly. And it is. It's a lot of it's just, it's sour grapes. And I mean, honestly, I have quite a bit of sympathy for individuals in those situations. I mean, being poor sucks.
Sure.
We've done it. Yeah. So it was not fun. No. It teaches you a lot of things. So
it teaches me to appreciate so many things.
Yeah. So you can fix your shit. You can make your own food. You don't have to hire people to do things. So, and not as a hobby, as a necessity.
You know what's even better?
What?
Is having been there, you know that if you got there again, you can get out.
I can totally get out. Yeah, absolutely.
If something fucked up, if crazy medical emergency or something took you down to your last lucky dime, you're like, I've been here.
Yeah. No problem.
Yeah.
In fact, I'm going to do it faster this time.
Yeah. Well, I'm also not going to worry about it.
Yeah,
I know there's still good lunch meat in the couch. I know there's still... Well, the things that like the mistakes you didn't make. It's like, I didn't buy $10,000 worth of speakers. I didn't,
Right, yeah, exactly.
You know what I'm talking about? Because, like, at this point in your life, Pat, I know that you've seen people as like, you cry poverty, But you drive a ninety
You
thousand
drive a
dollar
ninety
truck,
thousand
bro.
dollar truck, and you bought the warranty, you motherfucker.
Speaking of 60
Yeah,
months, yeah.
exactly. Yeah, exactly. So no, now you get a 72-month
72.
warranty. Yeah, exactly. It's like, wait a minute, you leased that?
The fuck? For this term?
Yeah.
Yeah, you know what I'm talking about. Where it's like, so because we've been there, there are certain pitfalls that we know that helped us get us there,
Right.
before.
Yeah. I didn't see that. There was a good response on Twitter the other day that was just so like deadpan perfect.
Oh, what was that?
So this was in response to like there was somebody doing a poll out there of like, hey, do you approve of Trump's plan to cap interest rates on credit cards to 10%?
Mm-mm.
And then very first fucking response to that was like, well, your rate is 0 if you pay it off every month. And that one got some fucking hell.
Was that now? Did it also have a shitload of hearts too, or
A
no?
lot. Yeah, a lot. Yeah. So, but it was like, that's right. So,
But that's the thing is, yeah, you still have it in your pocket because look,
Mhm.
if this happens and this happens
Oh yeah.
and this happens, and my hot water heater blows up because Will's just did.
If I need capital, I got it, bud. Yep.
Yeah,
No
yeah.
problem, man.
And even if worst case scenario, you're like, okay, well, I have to pay interest on it because they've extended this to me.
That's fine.
Okay, that's fine.
That's fine.
I do this, this, and
I
this.
will pay you for the privilege of using your money to fix my problem right now.
Correct, because otherwise I'm heating my water with fire. And
I think that's against code.
I think you're right.
Yeah.
All right.
So
Yeah.
I don't think they have a home repair class at Dartmouth.
Do we really need to think about what the title is? Just make sure you put the space in between those two words.
All right. We're gonna do it. I'm
All
back.
right, Jeffrey.
Dart.